Hey y'all, it's Callie. Welcome back to my channel. And today I'm going to be showing y'all something that I've actually wanted to show y'all for a while, pretty much ever since I got back from my study abroad trip, which was during spring break. And so basically just throughout the years I've realized that I would rather pack other things in my bag that I'm checking in whenever I'm going on a plane then pack all of my makeup. And so I've kind of condensed what I pack in my makeup bag to make it to where I just carry a small amount, but I still have options. Basically, I'm going to have a full face of makeup if I use the things that I'm taking in my bag, but I'm just not going to have, 5 eyeshadow palettes and 3 blushes. I'm just going to have more of like the necessities and essentials that you would need to take on a trip with you. Obviously, you can just kind of change it however you want. If you don't wear that much makeup, then you don't have to take every single thing that I'm about to show you. But this is just what I would take in my makeup bag, and this is what I have taken in my travel makeup bag. When packing my makeup travel bag, I usually go through all of the steps that I would do to do my makeup. And so the first one would be primer. I would take this Laura Mercier Foundation Radiance Primer, and I also think it's a good idea if you don't want to take something so large, or if you have other things on hand that are travel size. Those are great options because I know Sephora and Ulta, they also have travel size primers for just certain primers, but usually if I do have an option to do that, I will do that because it's going to save me room in my makeup bag. And so the next step is either going to be foundation, tinted moisturizer, or powder, whichever one you would rather prefer. I would probably take the Luminous Silk Foundation by Giorgio Armani or my Makeup Forever HD Foundation, just because it's a good idea to take something that you know looks good on your skin, makes you feel confident, and you don't have to worry about how it's going to look later on. It's something that you trust. And so I would probably just take one of these. But I also, depending on where I would be going, if I was going to more of like a beachy vacation, I would definitely take a tinted moisturizer. And so either I would take the Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer Oil Free, or I would take this Chanel Vitalumiere Aqua Foundation. This is not a tinted moisturizer, but I think for me it feels like one because I can wear it as a light coverage or I can build it up. So I have that option. So this also, if you want to take something that's in between a tinted moisturizer and a foundation, this is your option. Next is definitely concealer, and I would take whatever concealer I'm using at the time. Right now I'm using the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer, so that's what I would take. This is also another thing. If you have a concealer that is like this one or like the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer and you know it has really good coverage and you want to take a tinted moisturizer, if one night you want more coverage than the tinted moisturizer gives you, you can definitely apply some of the concealer in with your tinted moisturizer, and it'll kind of change it into a foundation so it has a little bit more coverage. So that's another option for you if you want to just take a tinted moisturizer, but you also want to have that full coverage. So for me, next would be powder, and I would either take a translucent powder or I would take this one, and it is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Perfecting Powder. And so I would take this just because lately I've been using this one. I trust it, and it just feels really comfortable on my skin. I also think tinted moisturizers are not tinted moisturizers. Translucent powders are amazing just because they don't change the color of your foundation, which I don't find this one to do that, but translucent powders definitely don't. The next thing would usually be an eye primer, but I would definitely skip that, especially because you can use your concealer or your foundation to prime your eyes. And so my next step would be a palette, but not just any palette. Personally, I would take something that has maybe like a bronzer and then highlight, or bronzer and blush. I would just definitely take palettes because it condenses everything into one palette, and so you're not taking a million things and taking up even more room. My first option would definitely be this Tarte Cosmetics by Chrissy Teigen palette, just because it has gorgeous shades. I don't want to blind y'all, but it has the shades for a highlight, a bronzer, a blush, but also you can use these shades for your eyeshadow. So it's kind of versatile in that way, and it allows you to have all of the things that you would bring and take up in your makeup bag all in one palette. But another option would be to have something that you can create your own palette. And Tarte Cosmetics has one. I know, I think Sigma has one, and then Morphe maybe. I'm trying to think who else. There's another one. MakeupGeek, they have them too. But Tarte Cosmetics and MAC, they have them as well. And I just think these are really great options because you can pack what you want in this and just have individuals. So basically this one has 2 blushes and then it has eyeshadows, but I could also get a contour little single pan from MAC, and so that would also be everything in one palette. So I definitely think that palettes, either the create your own or ones that are already made, are a go-to for me whenever I'm traveling because I can use them for my eyeshadow, my blush, my bronzer, and my highlight. So I think it's just the best option for me. And then I would obviously take my brow pencil, and right now I've been using the NYX Micro Brow Pencil. I've actually been using the Anastasia Brow Powder Duo, but I think this is probably easier just to pack since it's so small. And then to set my brows, you can take an eyebrow gel. I personally would, just because I think setting my brows is a big deal for me. I don't know, just my opinion. But if you wanted to, you can just take a little spoolie and then you can use hairspray and just use that as your eyebrow gel. But I would take this Tanya Crooks The Brow Gal, just because I really love this stuff and it just glues my eyebrows down. And then I would obviously take an eyeliner. I really like this Tarteist Double Take eyeliner because it gives you 2 options. So you could do the liquid side, or you can also do like the gel or crown side. So I would, if you can find something, or if you have something like that, or if you just have something you prefer, I would take eyeliner because sometimes I wear eyeliner, sometimes I don't. But if I ever want that extra oomph, then I definitely put on eyeliner. So, and then next would obviously be mascara for me. I would take 2 mascaras because I do like using a different mascara for my top lashes than I do my bottom. And so I would take this MAC Extended Play Giga Black Lash, which this is actually waterproof, and I would use this for my bottom lashes. And then also if I was going to the pool and I wanted to wear mascara and I knew I was going to be in the water, I would use this too on top of my top lashes. And then for my top lashes, anyways, I would take this Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. This is my all-time favorite mascara ever. And so I would just definitely take something that you know you use every day and you love. Obviously, you don't have to take 2 mascaras. That's just me. I do that. The next things that I would bring would be my lipsticks. And so whenever I'm going out of town or going on a trip, I always think of something that I'm going to wear every single day and I can trust, just like every other makeup product that I put in my makeup bag. So I kind of give myself options too, because I did do things to condense the makeup that I put in my bag, so I do have that room. But basically what I would do is I would take a lip liner. I would take this Strip Down lip liner by MAC just because I know it can work for so many lipsticks. And then for my lipsticks, I would take the MAC Velvet Teddy lipstick, and then I would take the Lancome Beige Mirage. These are 2 nudes. This one's a little bit darker, this one's a little bit lighter. I have it on my lips right now. But these are just colors that I know would work with pretty much any makeup look. So definitely would give yourself options with that. And if you want to take a bold one, you do you. And then I would also take a gloss just to either put over top or just wear on its own. And I would take this Pillow Plump by Soap & Glory just because I really like the shade by itself. And then I also like the shade topped on other lipsticks. And obviously I cannot live without this. I would take my lip balm or my chapstick. This Rose Lollipop Lip Balm by Lush is probably the best bet just because it's so small and it just fits anywhere. But I would use this every day, every night. I would take it with me everywhere just because lip balm is everything to me. If you know me and you're one of my best friends, you know that because I usually take a big honker chapstick with me every single place I go. And I would obviously pack tweezers in my bag just because it is an essential. You definitely need them in case your brows get a little bit, you know, bushy. But also, this is probably something that y'all would shame me on. but I also can use these to separate lashes just in case. I would bring a mirror. I usually use this Sephora, or if you even have the mirror in your palette that you take, then you can use that. But sometimes I just bring an extra mirror just because I trust this Sephora mirror. I use it all the time, and it has like the zoom side, but it also has the normal side. So lastly, I'm going to talk about the brushes or applicators that I take with me. These are obviously going to be the essentials, so I'm not going to take every single brush that I would use on my eyeshadow or face. So I always take my beauty blender with me just because this does my concealer, it does my foundation. If I need to use this for primer, I can use it for that. But I always take my beauty blender just because it's definitely my go-to. And me personally, I like to wrap it in a little rag and take a rag with me because I know I'm going to be wiping off my makeup brushes sometimes, especially whenever I'm doing my eyeshadow. But yeah, so I always take a rag with me just because I don't want to dirty up their rags in the hotel room or anything like that. Usually they're white towels. I don't want to put my black eyeshadow all over their white towels. So then I always take my powder brush, and this is the Morphe E52. Another thing for brushes, I think travel size brushes are great. If you have that, definitely take that because that's going to be something that's also going to condense the makeup that you take. But I would take this Morphe E52 brush for my powder. And then I would take my Morphe E30 brush just because I use this for my concealer. And then I also use it to set my eyes. So I really think this is an essential for me. Some people may just use their powder brush. That's completely fine. But me personally, I just want to take a concealer brush. For blush, I would take my Smith 118 brush. I just really love this brush. I think it's just applies the blush so nicely. So yep, blush brush. And then I would take my Morphe M523 brush for bronzer, contouring. I usually use this as a contour brush and then I use a different brush as a bronzer, but I wouldn't want to like make room for that. And so I'm just going to take this one for bronzer and contour. Then I would take a highlighting brush. If you don't use highlighter, don't even worry about this step. But this is the Real Techniques setting brush. And I just really like this for my highlighter. And then for my eyes, I usually only take 3 to 4 brushes just because I know that I can kind of substitute other things to apply my eyeshadow. So my first definitely brush that I would throw in my bag is the Morphe M441 brush. I use this every day to blend in my crease. And I just think this is like definitely a essential brush. The next one would be the Smith 247 brush. And I think this one is really good because you can get deeper into the crease to create more of those smoky eyes. But you can also use this on the lid if you want to. And then the last brush is something that I would use to smudge out the lower lash line or apply anything to the lower lash line. And this is the Morphe M213 brush. This is a great brush for the lower lash line. So that is all the makeup that I take in my makeup travel bag. I definitely wanted to do this video just because I know me personally, and then I'm sure other people too, have a hard time condensing their makeup and putting things into their makeup bag, and they're like, oh, well, no, I want this and I want this. But anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed watching this video. If you did, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up, just so I know that you like the content and you possibly want to see some more. If you have any requests or any comments that you want to make, then please comment down below. I would love to hear what you're interested in or what you have to say about my video. Please keep the comments nice. No one wants to be mean. Also, if you want to subscribe and just see whenever I post and then be a part of my YouTube family, then definitely do that. I would love to see y'all subscribe just because it makes me happy and it just brightens up my day. So, other than that, I hope y'all have a blessed day and I will see y'all next time. Bye.